What if we migrated from Mars to Earth, and we are the aliens? What if I told you that you are an alien? Not in some metaphorical, we're all stardust kind of way. I mean literally. What if every human walking around right now is a descendant of Martian refugees who fled their dying planet 200,000 years ago? Sounds insane, right? But stick with me, because some scientists have seriously considered this, and the evidence is uncomfortably compelling. Here's what we know. Mars was once habitable. It had liquid water, a thick atmosphere, and possibly life. Then something catastrophic happened. The planet lost its magnetic field, the atmosphere stripped away, and it became the frozen desert we see today. Meanwhile, Earth has some weird quirks. Humans can't handle sunlight without burning. We have chronic back problems because our spines evolved for different gravity. Our circadian rhythm is 24.9 hours, closer to a Martian day than Earth's 24 hours. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe we're looking at this backwards. Today, we're exploring two timelines where humanity didn't evolve on Earth. We invaded it. One where we brought enlightenment and became Earth's saviors, and one where we became the apocalypse that wiped out everything that came before us. It comes down to what our Martian ancestors decided to do when they discovered Earth wasn't empty. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with how we got here. The dying world, 300,000 BCE. Mars is dying. The civilization that's existed there for 2 million years knows it. Their magnetic field collapsed 50,000 years ago. The atmosphere is bleeding into space. Temperature swings are becoming extreme. Water is evaporating or freezing into the poles. The Martians, our ancestors, are technologically advanced, but not magical. They have fusion power, genetic engineering, space travel, but they can't restart a planetary magnetic field. Some problems are just too big. They try everything: underground cities, artificial atmosphere domes, genetic modification to survive harsher conditions. It buys them time, but everyone knows the truth. Mars is a death sentence. So they look outward. Earth is right there, the third planet, already in the habitable zone. Long-range probes sent 80,000 years ago confirmed it. Liquid water, oxygen atmosphere, abundant life. It's perfect. There's just one problem. It's already occupied. When the first Martian scout ships arrive in Earth orbit in 250,000 BCE, what they find is both wonderful and terrifying. Earth is a paradise compared to dying Mars, but it's not empty. There are hominids, Homo heidelbergensis, our evolutionary cousins. They're tool users, hunter-gatherers, smart but not technological. They're spread across Africa, Europe, and Asia. Population? Maybe 500,000. And there's other intelligent life too. Dolphins and whales with complex languages. Corvids and parrots showing problem-solving abilities. Octopi with intelligence that's fundamentally alien even to Martians. Earth isn't just inhabited, it's teeming with minds. The Martian Council faces an ethical crisis. They have maybe 50,000 years before Mars becomes completely uninhabitable. They have the technology to terraform and colonize Earth easily, but doing so will inevitably disrupt or destroy the native species. Some argue for coexistence. Others argue survival justifies anything. The debate rages for decades while Mars continues to die. Finally, in 210,000 BCE, they make a decision. And that decision splits our timeline in two. The good ending, the partnership. The Martians choose coexistence, but not naive coexistence, intentional integration. They land in East Africa in 208,000 BCE. Small numbers at first. They don't just settle, they teach. Advanced medicine, agriculture, basic engineering. But here's the crucial part. They do it through genetic integration. Martians and Homo heidelbergensis are close enough to interbreed. The offspring, us, Homo sapiens, inherit Martian intelligence and Earth-adapted bodies. It's not conquest, it's synthesis. By 180,000 BCE, hybrid communities are thriving. The knowledge transfer is bilateral. Martians learn Earth ecology from humans who've lived here for millennia. Humans gain technology that accelerates their development by 100,000 years. And here's the beautiful part. The Martians don't just focus on humans. They establish communication with dolphins, teaching them tool use. They create partnership protocols with elephant herds. They recognize octopi intelligence and develop underwater cities in collaboration with them. By 100,000 BCE, Earth has 3 distinct intelligent civilizations sharing the planet. Land-based humans with Martian heritage, cetaceans with enhanced communication technology, and cephalopod communities in the deep ocean. They're not competing, they're cooperating. With Martian knowledge and 3 different intelligent perspectives, technological progress explodes. But it's directed progress, sustainable, ecological, thoughtful. Agriculture develops by 80,000 BCE, but it's permaculture, working with ecosystems, not against them. Cities emerge by 60,000 BCE, but they're designed to integrate with nature. Whales contribute knowledge of global ocean currents. Octopi share bioluminescent technology. Humans provide land-based infrastructure. By 40,000 BCE, there's a global communication network based on acoustic technology. Works underwater, over land, and through forests. The 3 civilizations coordinate climate management, prevent ice ages, and maintain planetary biodiversity. And here's what's crucial. With Martian historical knowledge, they avoid the mistakes that killed Mars. They maintain Earth's magnetic field through careful management of core heat flows. They prevent atmospheric loss. They become planetary stewards. By what we'd call 2025, Earth is unrecognizable from our timeline. Population, 800 million humans. 200 million cetaceans in ocean cities, 50 million octopi in deep-sea communities. Technology is 300 years ahead of our timeline, but it's biological, not mechanical. Buildings grown from engineered coral and trees. Transportation via living organisms bred for the purpose. Computers based on neural networks, literally cultivated brain tissue. There are no fossil fuels because they never needed them. Energy comes from fusion plants designed by Martians, supplemented by biological solar collectors. Climate change isn't a problem because planetary systems are actively managed by 3 civilizations working together. Space exploration is collaborative. There's a permanent settlement on Mars, the ancestral homeland restored over millennia. Bases on Europa and Titan. The first interstellar probe launched in 2021. And war? Rare to non-existent. When you have 3 fundamentally different types of minds contributing to every decision, conflict becomes inefficient. Problems get solved through collaboration because someone always has a perspective that unlocks solutions. This is the world integration created. The bad ending, Scenario B, the invasion. The Martians choose survival at any cost. The first Martian colony ships arrive in 208,000 BCE with a clear directive: terraform Earth for Martian life, regardless of cost. They start with bioweapons. Designer viruses target Homo heidelbergensis specifically. Within 10,000 years, native human populations drop from 500,000 to under 50,000. The survivors are driven into marginal territories, areas the Martians don't want yet. Other intelligent species? Eliminated systematically. Dolphins and whales hunted to near extinction. Their sonic communications interfere with Martian technology. Corvids poisoned. Too clever. Too adaptable. Potential competitors. Octopi survive only because they're hard to find in the deep ocean. By 180,000 BCE, Martians have established colonies across every continent. They engineer the ecosystem to Martian preferences. Earth's atmosphere is adjusted. Less oxygen, more CO2. Temperature raised by 2 degrees. It's better for Martians, even if it kills most native species. But there's a problem. Martians struggle in Earth's gravity and sunlight despite the terraforming. So they create organic tools. They genetically engineer surviving Homo heidelbergensis populations, mixing in Martian genes. The result? Homo sapiens, us, are stronger in Earth gravity, more resistant to solar radiation, smart enough to follow orders, but not to rebel. We're not children. We're slaves. By 100,000 BCE, Martian civilization is thriving on Earth. Massive cities in optimal locations, built by human labor. Agriculture optimized for Martian crops, maintained by human workers. Mining operations gutting Earth's resources, staffed by expendable humans. The remaining native species? Extinct, or driven into tiny preserves. Biodiversity crashes. The Martians don't care. They only need Earth functional for 10,000 years while they expand to other worlds. But here's what the Martians didn't count on. They made us too smart. By 60,000 BCE, human populations secretly preserved Martian knowledge. We learned to read their language, understand their technology, hack their genetic controls. Underground resistance movements formed. In 52,000 BCE, a coordinated global uprising began. Humans seized control of Martian weapons facilities, crashed their supply ships, destroyed their atmospheric processors. The war lasted 3,000 years and was brutal. The Martians had technology. Humans had numbers and intimate knowledge of Earth's terrain. The planet itself became a weapon. We knew where to strike to trigger volcanic eruptions, collapse tunnels, poison water supplies. By 49,000 BCE, the last Martian stronghold fell. We won, but at tremendous cost. Human population reduced to 10,000 survivors scattered across the globe. Technology mostly destroyed. Knowledge fragmented. And here's the legacy. We inherited Martian ruthlessness. For the next 40,000 years, human civilization was defined by conquest. We exterminated Neanderthals, Denisovans, any competition. We drove megafauna to extinction. We perfected war because it was what our Martian creators taught us. In this timeline's 2025, we've reached roughly the same technological level as our actual timeline, which makes sense, since this might be our actual timeline. Think about it. humans are the only species on Earth that actively destroys its own environment. We're the only ones who can't live in balance with the planet. We have chronic health problems, back pain, sunburn, circadian rhythm issues that make no evolutionary sense for a species that evolved here. And we're obsessed with Mars. We look at that dead red planet and feel something. Not curiosity, longing. Like we're remembering a home we've never been to. What if that's not metaphor? What if the reason we're killing Earth is because we're invasive species? What if our DNA carries Martian programming that makes us incompatible with planetary coexistence? In this timeline, climate change isn't a mistake. It's regression to the mean. We're unconsciously terraforming Earth back to Mars conditions because that's what we're genetically programmed to do. And we'll keep doing it until Earth looks like Mars. Then we'll move on to the next planet and do it again. Because that's what we are. A species-scale locust swarm wearing a civilization's clothes. This is the world invasion created, and it might be ours. If this just completely rewired how you think about human origins, smash that subscribe button. We're exploring reality-breaking scenarios every week that'll make you question everything. Drop an A for the partnership timeline where we became Earth's stewards, or a B for the invasion timeline where we became the apocalypse. And honestly, tell me which one feels more like our actual history. So here's what keeps me up at night about this scenario. It actually explains too much. The weird biological quirks, the environmental destruction, the Mars obsession, the fact that we're the only species that doesn't fit Earth's ecosystem. Maybe we're not Martian refugees, but the metaphor works, doesn't it? Because we're acting like invasive species. We're treating Earth like it's disposable, like we're just passing through, like this isn't our home. But here's the thing. Even if we are Martian invaders, we don't have to be conquerors. We can choose the partnership timeline. We can learn to live with Earth instead of against it. We can become native through intention, even if we weren't through evolution. So tell me, which timeline do you think we're in? Drop your vote and your reasoning in the comments. And if you think we're in timeline B, what do we do about it? Next week's scenario is already blowing my mind. Until then, question everything, stay curious, and remember, home isn't where you're from, it's where you choose to belong. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.